Hi, this is Hojun Chang. I'm here in Seoul, Korea. Alright. I'm gonna talk about the gate and compressor with the things that I had no chance to learn from it, from the books or from the teachers or YouTube at all. And I just figured it out from all the tutorials and all the circuit designs and all the manuals, and I think it'll help you to understand how to use gate as the envelope design, or like reshaping the envelope tool. Something really important in my perspective of the mixing. Okay, it is the same thing, but there is another way to use it. So I want you to understand that. Okay, where the people use gate as like get rid of the noise, like hum from the guitar amp, or something like that. Just noise gate. Okay, get rid of the noises, right? Okay, that's the simple way to use gate. And or the masters, no, not all, but most of masters or sound engineer refuse to use gate, because it will just take out all the nature sound from the source and just make something funny. Sounds like and just there's no nature cover on the attack time or release time, right? Okay, that's their opinion, and I'm not gonna judge you about that. Okay, they have their own ways to use it, right? And I have my own ways to use it. I'm not just convincing you guys, but it is good to understand, or it will be good to know that someone here in Korea has different idea about gate. Okay, so the way that I learned from the school like 30 years ago, and all the books that I read, and all the times like about 20 years, like before about 10 years ago, I only use gate just like the other guys. Okay, get rid of the noise, right? Just mentioned, right? Okay, but one day I found that it's not gonna work as the gate that we all know. And the thing that I found is it's not switch, it's not mute switch. So far we know the gate is the mute switch. If the signal goes above the threshold, switch will on, and below, mute switch will on if the signal below the threshold. So no signal go through, right? And if there's a signal the louder than threshold level, the mute switch will off and signal go on. It's like on and off switch, right? And people just kind of murmuring about the attack time. With that theory, it's like, okay, how fast that switch, or how fast that door closed or opened, right? And one day I figured it out, and it is that, like, ooh, eureka! There is an internal fader in the gate. Internal fader, just like old days, it used VCA or DCA, in nowadays, right? So there is an internal fader where reduce the signal or increase the signal to the threshold level. Internal fader. Okay, there's internal fader within the gate, and also the compressor. Internal faders are there. So as the moment that I realized that there's a thing called internal fader in the gate, everything just solved. Every theory that I wonder was, okay, it makes sense to shaping the tone, reshaping the sound, and whole things truly make sense. And I teach those things to the my student, and also I wrote a book in Korean, and it will be available in English within a year, I guess. Okay, so there's an internal fader. I mentioned, right, several times. I'm just keep letting you know there's an internal fader in the gate and compressor. So when the signal goes below the threshold level, the internal fader in the gate will lower, fader will go lower to the level that you adjusted in the range. So if the threshold is minus 10 dB fs, minus 10 dB, and range is minus 80 dB, your internal fader will go down to where? Minus 90 dB. Yeah, minus 90 dB. Sorry, I have to cut it. Okay. So it will go down to minus 90 dB and wait there. The gate initiated, right? Okay, as soon as the the signal goes above threshold level, the internal fader will move back to threshold level. It will not go above threshold level. So the 80 dB, right? 80 dB raising the boost, right? So the signal go through, right? Okay. Remember that. Okay. So internal fader will go down to the level that you adjusted in the range. So if the range is minus 30 dB, okay, internal fader will go lower 30 dB. So you still can hear the sound, right? And that means like all the input source not going over the threshold level will go down to minus 30 dB, right? So threshold minus 30 dB. That's the range if you set it at like minus 30 dB, right? Okay. So and the time, attack time is the time that fader moves. So if you set attack time to 1 millisecond, the fader will go from the maximum range level to the threshold in 1 millisecond. 10 millisecond, it will go 10 millisecond. Okay, so if you set it 10 millisecond, the kick drum and snare drum, something that the really short attack time on the envelope will not go through, right? Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, so and the release time is the opposite from the attack time. So as soon as the signal go below threshold, the fader will go back to the range, right? The maximum, the level of the range that I'm adjusted, like minus 30 dB. So fader will go back to the threshold minus 30 dB, and release time is that duration, right? And hold is how long the internal fader will not move when signal go below the threshold. Okay, so it will hold the release command. If you happen to check the algorithm of the gate on like C language or some other algorithm, it is so simple. It's just a simple command on that gate. But like I said, it's totally different perspective that I found out when I thought about the internal fader thing, right? Okay, so how this thing work on your mix? it will reshape your all of the source as whatever that you want. Okay, just like the synthesizing theory. So there is the envelope that I'm adjust the whole tone, right? The timbre, right? Same. So it could happen same in the audio engineering. Compressor. So internal fader on compressor stays in the threshold, not like gate. It will not go down to the range, but it will stay on the threshold level. And as soon as the signal goes above the threshold, it will go, the internal fader will lower the level that set it on the ratio, right? So 3 to 1. Okay, so if the signal goes 3 decibel above the threshold, internal fader will move down to 2 decibel to get the output of 1 decibel, right? And there's the attack time, to how fast that fader moves. Yeah, release is the same thing. So I hope that someone will open the whole new gate, whole new door for the signal processing. And if you already know this, yeah, it's good for you. And I cannot find any blog, YouTube, or some lectures talk about this thing. Maybe I'm kind of lazy, or maybe there is nothing like this. Okay, sorry for all the shaking, the cameras. I'm attending for my meeting, so yeah. I hope you enjoyed this theory. Okay, thanks for watching this, and this is Ozun Chang. Subscribe and share it. All right, thank you. See you next time. Bye.